When it comes to driver, lots of people come to see me and they say, Chris, how do you hit driver long and straight? And they often sound a bit greedy saying that, but it is possible. You can hit driver straighter and longer. And there's often two things that I teach these golfers which helps them do those things. One of them we're going to start off with is the straight part. We've got to get you hitting the ball in play first of all, and then I'm going to give you something which is going to give you a little bit more distance. So you put these together, you'll start hitting it longer and straighter. So one of the key factors that we need to look at when we're wanting to hit driver straight is trying to get the golf club to approach the golf ball on the right angle. So many golfers who struggle with the driver do so because the golf club comes in from either too steep, that's probably the most common, or it comes in from too shallow. Less common, but both are going to give issues. And when we're trying to create this almost perfect swing plane, we have to really understand what the arms are doing and what the body's doing. And this is where golfers often get confused. So for me to hit driver good, I've got to start from a good place. The top of my backswing has got to be organised. And when we have a good organised top of the backswing position, we normally would have the grip of the club above, if not behind, the heels. That's a checkpoint that we see from most of the good golfers. And what that does, it gives them a great opportunity to then get the golf club working down on that perfect plane. Now here's the issue. How do we get to that perfect top of the backswing position? Well, it's actually quite surprising. If I showed you the two really key elements that help me get there, number one, the arms do this. The arms lift. Relative to my body, the arms are lifting. Look at where the hands are relative to my body. They're lifting. Now that looks strange because all I'm doing is I'm lifting my arms. But when I lift my arms, which is the first part, and the second part is I turn my body through a good amount of rotation, what do we get? Well, then we start to get that perfect top of the backswing position where I've got a good body turn and the grip, as we said, is kind of behind the heels. So my body's turning, which moves the club inwards, and my arms are lifting, which moves the club upwards. Now here's the issue. Lots of golfers from the setup know where the club is, know where the hands are, know where they need to get to at the top, which is kind of in this area, and they will actually use the arms to try and swing the club around behind them. So they're using the arms to give them the around bit. Then when they add the body turn, guess what? They end up with this really low position, which is really difficult to play with. Or what will happen is they'll start to move arms in, then they turn, then they'll start to lift the arms up. And what happens when we lift the arms up and we turn? We get really over the top and steep. So we've got to appreciate that the body is responsible for the in part. The hands and arms are responsible for the up part. So what I'd love you to do is actually just do that little demonstration that I've just done. So you're going to take a normal address position. When I lift the arms, notice I'm not lifting them straight up, I'm lifting them up over my trail shoulder, but body doesn't do anything. My arms are just lifting. And then when I add the turn, look how easy that was. That's my perfect top of the backswing position, really easy. It was a lift of the arms and a turn of the body. So we can start to lift, turn, lift, turn. And then eventually we can start to lift and turn at the same time. We can start to lift and turn at the same time. And when we start to lift and turn at the same time, guess what? It suddenly doesn't look like a lift and a turn because it's one blended movement. It's what the best players are doing, it's blended, and that's why it's really hard to see exactly what they're doing. When we break it down, it's easy to see what those movements are, but when we put it together, it looks like one fluid movement. So that's your little exercise. There's no reason why you can't hit balls that way. I would do this over a short distance, but I can absolutely use that drill to find where that perfect top of the backswing position is. So we lift, we turn, and then we can just deliver the club. And although I'm not going to hit particularly long drives doing that, look how easy it was for me to hit the ball straight. It was easy because I set the shape of my swing, and that made it much easier for me to swing the club down on a more neutral path. If you can get a more neutral path, you're going to hit straighter shots. When we're hitting straighter shots, what do we then want to do? We want to add the distance. I'm going to give you a few things now which are going to add some distance. Now, let's do a little question. Pop down in the comments. Where do you think the majority of the speed comes from in your swing? So we know we want to move this around your body pretty quick. You know, the best players are around at 120. Most golfers are kind of under 100. So where does the majority of the speed come from? It's your hands and your arms. Now, we've already spoken about the importance of the hands and the arms in the golf swing. We've spoken about how they were responsible for that up part. So if you remember what we did at the start, we said the arms do this. So it would make sense that in the downswing, they do the opposite, because when they do the opposite, where does the club get to? It gets back to the ball. So we know that in the backswing, the arms swing relative to the body. Therefore, on the downswing, what do we need the arms to do? We need the arms to swing freely of the body. That might sound relatively simple, but so many golfers don't. So many golfers strangle the golf club. So many golfers will hit the ball more with the body and they never actually let the club swing. So I want you to take your driver, spin it around. You're going to hold down here by the end of the club head, and you're going to put yourself into that new top of the backswing position that you've just got yourself into here. Really focus on swishing that grip through the ball. But I'm using my hands and arms. Yes, the body's playing a bit of a role. What I'm not doing is I'm not using my body to do that, because if I use my body, the club will move, but I'm not going to get any speed. The speed is coming from my hands and arms. That's my hands and arms. Look where my arms are relative to my body. They are to the left-hand side. Where we're at the top of the backswing, to the right-hand side. They go from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. There's some speed there. It's all with the hands and arms. Now, how do we do that with the golf club? We've got to have a light grip pressure. So the first thing I want you to do when you're over the ball is I want you to keep that club head moving. Keeping the club head moving means you've got a nice light grip pressure, and it means that you can feel and sense the weight of the club. As soon as we start to strangle that club at setup, we start to have movements which are body dominated. It's really hard to get the speed out in the club head. So once you've got that club waggling, what you're then going to do is you're going to have some practice swings where I simply want you to get the grip of the club, the club shaft, to finish touching the back of your neck. Touching the back of your neck. Now, if you watch your swing on video with driver, you might see this. If you see this, where the club is pointing up, that suggests to me that there's too much tension through the hands, too much tension through the arms. And when we've got tension, we never get the speed out into the club head. So we've got to be going light grip pressure. Keep the club moving, keep it waggling. Make some swings where the club is bouncing. Club is bouncing off the neck. I can hear that whoosh, that's coming from my hands and arms. Yes, the body's supporting that, but the speed in your golf swing is coming from the hands and arms. So once we can appreciate how to put the club into the right position at the top, which is going to help with the delivery, and we can start to create some speed, you'll be able to hit more fairways and they'll be longer as well.